He's in Las Vegas. Eric Francis is joining us from Las Vegas. Give me were you a VRBO guy? Or are you a hotel guy? Give me a hint. I want to try and figure out where you're at.
I stay right on top of the action, literally. Like, I stay in the casino where I like to gamble the most. I can say what hotel.
It's an MGM of some sort. Are you close to the rink?
Caesars.
If I were to turn my phone, it wouldn't help right now. But I'm
Park
looking
MGM.
at T-Mobile. I'm at New York. So I'm staring at T-Mobile right now. Like, if the window was open, I could probably throw my drink glass and hit the building, but I won't do that.
Piano bar guy, maybe at New York, or what do you know? They got a great steakhouse there.
That piano bar is one of my favorite bars in the entire world. I've always loved that piano. The two ingredients you really need for a good piano bar, obviously you need some good pianists. That's kind of key. But you need people who are like loose and fun and having a good time and not afraid to stand up and act like a fool. And boy, oh boy, does that little piano bar have that in spades. Like, I've seen some crazy things in that, and I'd probably see some more tonight after the game.
Oh, am I jealous? Oh, I love that city. Though, Rick, the only problem about the piano bar is if you go there with, like, you want to have a conversation with people, it ends up getting too loud.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to go to be able to party and request, like, weird songs. I usually like to throw a Tragically Hip in there, and they do it for like 20 seconds. I'm like, but I gave you like $20. Like, that's like 50 Canadian. Come on, you can't do a little bit more of the song? Gallagher's Steakhouse is legit in New York. What's your game of chance? What do you like to play?
Well, I'm a blackjack guy. I play craps, but I prefer blackjack. And my new development here in Vegas, like, it's forever changing. And my drink of choice is rum and Coke, but I really do like a espresso martini. Really kind of kicks it up a level. And now this has never happened. Like, in all the years I've been coming to Vegas, like, they've never served those. They serve them at the tables now, like, gratis. I love the term, like, free drinks at a blackjack table. Like, that is not free. Like, you tip heavily and you're losing money just waiting for that next drink. And it was good. And last week we showed my Blockbuster card. I found it in my drawer, the hoarder that I am. Today's exhibit is my MGM. Oh, I can't show the number. I don't want people. It's my MGM rewards card. What a great concept. The more money you lose, the more points you get. It's a terrible idea. Man, I hate this card.
All I know is if Mrs. S is listening, my wife, she's wondering if an espresso martini on Monday is okay to have, because that's her drink of choice now too. It's like the big thing. It's the trend. It's the trend. You're close to the action there. Flames Golden Knights this evening. There's actually quite a few NHL games. What did I texted you earlier? It's like the Pro Sports Solstice. Is that what they call it? Where you got Major League Baseball playing, you got hockey playing, you got football and NBA playing. And actually, for a Monday, there's a number of NHL games. But are you? I don't want to say excited. Probably very curious to finally see the Golden Knights in person, because we talked about it last week. Like, they're deep.
Oh my God, they're deep. Like, and I never miss a trip down to Vegas when the Flames are here. So I've been into this arena a million times. I tell people all the time, if you're doing a road trip, people ask me, like, if you could only do one road trip in the National Hockey League, it's a toss-up between Nashville and Vegas. The arenas are both incredible. There's actually an incredible tradition in the short history of both franchises in the stands. It's loud. Like, this is talking to the players today too. They like, there's no arena they prefer to play in than this one, because it's just such a loud, raucous party. But yeah, there's a team that is they're deep as hell. Interesting stat: like, 3 different guys on this team have taken turns leading the NHL in scoring already this season. Like, I think people would have probably guessed Eichel would be one of them, but right now Mark Stone is leading the NHL in points. Like, I never saw that coming. And Barbashev has also taken some time leading the league as well. So that's just symbolic of how deep they are. Like on the blue line, they're deep. Like Hanfin right now is their third best defenseman. On any other team, when you sign him as a free agent or trade for him and then sign him long term, that's your diamond in the jewel. That's how deep they are, man. They're a good team. It'll be a fun challenge tonight because two teams have had really good starts.
You talk about the ultimate road trip, or one of the ultimate road trips in the NHL, Eric, being Vegas. Do they still have that incredible start pregame roll where there's a guy up in the stands and then he says this and that and you are now a part? Like, is it all still a huge build up to the start of the game, a lot of theatrics?
Yeah, it's still a big production, and it ends up with some cheesy guy on the ice slaying like a flame or whatever the team, the visiting team is. He takes a sword and he puts it right through their heart, and the crowd goes nuts, and the ice cracks, and they got all the special effects and smoke and mirrors, and it's pretty cool. And then we get underway, and it's just like it should be in Vegas, man. Like as if there was a city that. It's funny, isn't it, how we look back and there were people who didn't know if this was going to work or certainly thought it had no chance of working. And like, it's just so funny that we weren't sure. And now it's just so obvious. Like, it's one of the biggest success stories in all of pro sports, the way the city's embraced it. And it'll be interesting to me how it changes over the years with the NFL here now. Like the Golden Knights were the only team in town, and you could understand them rallying around it. But now that they have an NFL team, and I just passed by the Trop, they ripped down one of the last old school hotels here in Vegas. There's a big pile of rubble there, and a lot of history and dead bodies in that rubble, I bet you. And they're going to replace it with a baseball diamond. So it even spreads the fan base out even thinner.
I got married there, in the chapel.
Come on.
Yeah, 2 years ago. My wife and I renewed our vows back there. With our kids.
That is funny.
With our kids. Yeah.
Oh, my God. That is really funny.
Yeah, so then when they're ripping it down, I'm like, hey, it's historic for us. Yeah, but baseball's going to take over there. There's words that NBA is going to get there. The thing about Vegas, we talked about the spectacle. I got to go to a game a couple weeks ago in Nashville. Yeah, that was cool. I'm going to put Madison Square Garden, though, in Vegas. One for me, anyway, 1 and 1A. When you go to a game there, and just on game day, like you're walking around the casinos, and a lot of the dealers, they got the Golden Knights gear on, and it's like, and you mentioned like when it first came there, everyone was like, Vegas, how's this gonna go? They are like hockey crazy, and I guess having a winner obviously really helps out, and something for that city to rally behind. That's theirs. When you watch the Las Vegas Raiders play football, like the joke last week was it was a home game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. In the hockey rink, yeah, you're going to get the Oiler jerseys and the Hab jerseys and the Chicago jerseys and all that. But at the end of the day, they love their Vegas Golden Knights, Eric.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you, like you were alluding to, there's a traveling road show that comes with every team in the league because every fan's like, wow, if I'm going to go watch my team play somewhere else, I might as well marry it with a chance to go get stupid in Vegas. And it has something for everybody. Like talking to some of my colleagues today, like they're not Vegas people. They know that I am Mr. Vegas. I love it here because there's something, you can go in any number of ways to enjoy your trip here. It could be a sports trip. It could be a show trip. Just come to do shows. It could be a gambling trip. It could be a drinking, golfing trip. Like, or you can marry all those in one, which so many people try to cram together, but throwing a hockey game in the middle of it. Like, I brought my family here. I used to make fun of people who bring little kids, and I'm still not sure it's a place for little kids, but I brought my teenage kids. We came to Taylor Swift here when it was her second concert ever as part of this tour, and I'm still paying for the tickets. And it was incredible. Because there was something for the kids to do. They couldn't come in the casino with us, but we just say, hey, kids, it's okay. You guys go play on the street. We're going to go, Mommy and Daddy and the friends are going to go gamble for a while and go to Chick-fil-A. Here's a couple bucks. Yeah, but you can pay at Chick-fil-A with chips, MGM chips. It's amazing. Wow.
Kids go play in the street. Kids go play in the street. I love it. Yeah. Here, go take those Tesla tunnels for 2 hours, and then we'll meet you at the convention center.
It's funny. I was asking people. I'm like, we just told our teenage kids like at 11 o'clock at night, just go out on Las Vegas Boulevard. Like it's safe. It's well lit. Lots of people there. And other people are like, you're the worst parent I've ever. That's terrible advice and terrible parenting. And I'm like, no, I think it was great. It worked out really well for everybody.
There's a lot of cameras there. There's a lot of security in Las Vegas. They're going to be completely fine. Eric, you always got this, or we always got this when we were in Arizona going to the Coyotes games, if it was Flames or Oilers or something. You always saw some Riders jerseys or Riders gear out there, too, because we, of course, don't have a team here in Saskatchewan. Do you see in Las Vegas, do you see some people going around with the Riders stuff there, too? It always seems to happen if there's Saskatchewan people at anything. They could be at a Manchester United game, and they're going to wear their Riders gear to the Manchester United game. It's awesome.
You see him at Flames games sometimes for sure. I haven't noticed them here in Vegas, but now that you've said it, I'll look because there otherwise won't be any green jerseys in the crowd. What I'm kind of looking forward to is, we're so close to Halloween, and so people start to wear Halloween stuff to all the sporting events, across North America, which is always entertaining. And I'm sure in Vegas it'll be taken to another level. With that in mind, and maybe there will be people dressed up as Rider fans. I don't know. I'll check it out.
There'll be Halloween costumes for sure, and there's always the people that want to be seen in their Halloween costumes, so they're like scantily clad and all that. Some
naughty nurses.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's brutal. Winnipeg Jets, are they for real? Speaking of one of the top places to go watch an NHL game and go on a trip, Winnipeg. But these Jets, they're absolutely rolling. They're playing the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. It's been 21,000 days, fellas. 21,000 days since the Toronto Maple Leafs last won a Stanley Cup.
Is that right, eh? Wow, I hadn't heard they'd been struggling for a while. Winnipeg was in town in Calgary on Saturday, and they're deep, and that was a hell of a game. The Flames gave them a pretty good test and came right down to the last 5 minutes, and a very controversial penalty on Kadri, who he was very, very he wasn't shy in ripping into the ref after the game. But anyway, they do have other layers, right? Like Cole Perfetti is another guy who's kind of that next wave of stars that I think they're going to have there. Obviously, they got the big boys. But one of the guys on that team that I think is almost symbolic of them taking this step to the top of the standings is Nikolai Ehlers. Like, everybody knows about Kyle Connor and everybody knows about Scheifele, but Ehlers is kind of that third wheel who's often on the second line and doesn't get kind of the notoriety, but he has pieced together an incredible season. And when he's on, he is just such a great hockey player. So, and obviously they got the goaltending, and Morrissey's running that power play, and they got some grit on the back end too. Like, I don't really see many holes in the Winnipeg Jets. I'm not suggesting they're going to, stay undefeated much longer or win the division even. I'm not sure, but they sure do have a lot of nice pieces, and it's nice for that city to have something to cheer about for a while, for a change.
I'm just looking at the leading. As we had the Kenniston Super Draft deadline coming up here November 1st. I'm looking at the leading scorers, and in Winnipeg, they're spreading it out, right? You got Kyle Connor at 25th in the league with 10 points, and you got Scheifele with 10 points, and then you have Ehlers with 10 points. So there's not like the one runaway guy, which is a good sign if you're building a team with depth. That can spread it around. Very curious how many games they can go for. Heck, as much as I don't like Winnipeg, except for Silver Heights and the Ribs, I hope they continue this streak. Who's gonna be the first coach fired this year? If you're a betting man, if that's something you could put down at the New York book.
Damn it! I meant to look into that more because I had a couple. It's always so, now you can just go through the bottom of the NHL standings and start to pick out guys who you think might not survive their horrible start. I'm certainly not pegging, anyone in Edmonton for getting the chop anytime soon. But you know what? I didn't put enough time into that. Can we do that on Wednesday?
Can Pittsburgh fire Sullivan?
Well, that's certainly a guy on the list for sure, and especially the way they've started. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't mind that one. I should say I don't mind. I don't want anyone to get fired. I hate seeing that. But when they were in town last week, Pittsburgh, there was a practice. We were watching the practice, and Sullivan just stopped 2 or 3 times and just was laying into the guys, screaming at him and it was pretty apparent just to our naked eye that the guys weren't really putting a whole lot of effort into it. And that's almost a sign, right, that they finally had enough of them and tuned them out. I don't know if that's the case, but their window's running out with those guys, and it's a hodgepodge there. I could see him definitely being near the top of that list.
Okay, Eric, before we let you go, I don't want to look past the Las Vegas, of course. That'll be a good test for the Flames. Will be a good game. But we were talking about Utah last week, so let's bring up your trip to Utah. Do you have your speakeasy card that you're going to go to that hidden underground, knock 5 times on the back door? The guy slides the little thing open, looks at you through there when you get to Salt Lake.
We have some plans. Our broadcaster in Calgary, John Abbott, is a new guy, and it's the rookie dinner.
Okay.
But I just assumed that meant we were going to buy him dinner. But then I remember, of course, the rookie dinner means that the rookies get stuck with the bill. Yep. So we have a reservation at one of the finest steakhouses there, but I want to take it up a level. Like, if this kid's paying for it, we gotta really stick him with as big a bill as possible. I was at Mastro's last night here in Vegas, which is, I wish he paid for that one last night. I really do, but we split it. Him and I split it. Anyway, no. Well, I'd be happy to report on the trouble we get into in Utah on Wednesday, because there will be speakeasies, there will be beverages, and there will be a rookie paying for all of it, which makes me so happy.
I'm very curious to find out what the nightlife is like in Utah after or before a hockey game. Last week, the one thing I wanted to, before I let you go too, McDavid says Crosby should be the captain of Canada for the Four Nations Cup. Is that the logical choice? Do you see that happening? Anybody else and throw their hat? Or will they give it to McDavid?
No, they can't give it to McDavid. It's Crosby's team. I agree with that. And I think it's such a wonderful gesture that McDavid was the one who said this, which makes it so easy for management and to give it to Crosby. Look, it's not just because of the player he is right now, because he's not the best player in the world right now, but he's up there. But it's because of all that he's done in the past, and those guys all in that room look up to him. Hey, they look up to McDavid too. He'll wear an A for sure. But I just think it's so wonderful that McDavid had the presence to say, no, this is not my captaincy. This is not my team. This is Sid's team. Connor, McDavid will wear the captaincy when we get to the Olympics and moving forward. But this might just be the last chance for Sid to wear the captaincy, and I love it. I think it's great.
All right. Jealous. Have so much fun in Vegas after the game.
Yeah.
Have fun at the case. So don't request these ones at the piano bar. Piano Man, Don't Stop Believin', Sweet Caroline, Brown Eyed Girl, Friends in Low Places, Bohemian Rhapsody, Baby Got Back. Don't request any of those, because they're overplayed. If you can, I'll pay for it when you get back. Request The Look by Roxette and video it for me. Seriously, big Roxette
challenge.
Guy. Big Roxette guy.
As opposed
he's
to
a
all
big
the other
Roxette guy.
songs.
Yeah. Well,
Interesting.
you can go dangerous. You can go dangerous if you want, or dress for success. Okay, let's do this again Wednesday from Utah.
See you, boys.
See ya.
See you, pal.